I wanted to share this idea. Actually, it wasn't my own. I got it from YouTube one time. So we just so happen to have this burn can that we used to use, and so if you notice, the bottom of it is gone. It's totally burnt out. So one day we had this stump that was, I don't know exactly what kind of wood it was, but it was so hard. We were hacking at it and chainsawing it, and it just was not happening. So we thought of this method of what you do is you just, I kind of learned this on YouTube. They didn't have this metal structure to use, but this made it safer. We put this around the stump, and then we put any kind of wood that was bad, or things like that was like infested with any kind of bug or anything, and we put it inside and we let it burn right with the stump, and it just burned and burned. It took about 1 day of burning, and then the stump was completely ground level. And once it was ground level, we lucked out. We kind of dug at it more, and it was like we pulled it right out. So this is another wonderful method for stumps. You just put this around your stump if it's not that big, and you just put some things you want to burn in there, and you just burn it slowly, very slowly, and it does a great job. Yet again, here's another one. Of course, it's not at its peak. If you can see, there was 3 stumps here. Here I recycled a pole and I put a solar light there. But if you look right here, underneath there's a lot of topsoil on top of it, and it's degrading. Sometimes you'll see the fungus peek out. I'll show you. I put a lot of sedum around it and stuff, so you can't usually see it, but I've cut some of it back. See, there's the fungi doing its job. It's just degrading away at that wood like it should. So here's another example of one of the stumps I've covered up, and on top of it planted grass. Since we already have a hilly yard, it doesn't really hurt to put a lot of soil from the bottom. So right here is one example of this technique I'm talking about, where you just cover the stump up with topsoil. Here I did some sand and soil, and then I just planted around it. And with time, the fungi and all the bacteria will degrade that stump, and it'll be flat. And usually in the spring and summer, we don't really see it because I have some flowers I put around it that cover it. Here's yet another example that I do, and if you see, I have this spurge in the front, which I really love. It's a perennial spurge, and I just cover around it and let the fungi do its job. It's a nice big stump. It sure looks a lot better in the spring and the summer than it could. There's some stumps I haven't done yet, and I'll show you what those look like. Here's a stump that's too awkward and high for me to actually cover. So I got some of the chemicals that they sell to degrade wood, and I put some holes, and I put some of them, and hopefully in the spring I can hack at this and make it a little less dangerous, because sometimes these stumps can really trip people if you don't see them. But see, this one's a little too high right now for me to actually try my little method of, covering it over and